From our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good evening. The time has now moved on to 19 hours in Guyana. I'm Kevin Smith. Welcome to your nightly newscast on Kaieteur Radio. Despite exhausting an $11.6 million loan from the Inter-American Development Bank, Guyana appears to have ignored key recommendations, especially as it pertains to contract administration and cost management in the oil sector. According to the project completion report on the loan, Guyana was advised back in 2019 to be mindful of the pace at which it is ramping up oil production, as it could not only put a strain on already limited and inexperienced resources, but also allow for weaknesses in proper governance. It also urged Guyana to put in place a law that deals with cost control procedures that ought to be followed by ExxonMobil and its partners, which benefit from an extensive list of tax exemptions on an uncapped number of items to support its operations. And ExxonMobil subsidiary Esso is maintaining its contention that Kaieteur News publisher Glenn Lal stepped outside his boundary when he moved to the High Court to challenge the government's decision to grant extensive tax waivers to the oil operator and its affiliates. In its submission, Exxon, which sought extra time from the court to seek expert advice on the matter, outlined a number of grounds in which it contends is valid enough for the court to toss out Lal's application. Further, the oil company reasoned that for the court to entertain declaratory relief in private law proceedings, the applicant, Lal, must show an act or omission had infringed or threatened to infringe any right of the applicant derived from private law. Meanwhile, a robbery victim has accused the police of replacing his gold jewelry with artificial ones at the Anna Regina police station. Investigators said that they had launched an investigation to find out how it happened and are currently awaiting the return of a case filed from the DPP Shalimar Ali Haq to proceed with the matter. However, according to the robbery victim, Parmish Ramdahin, his jewelry turned artificial almost 2 years ago, and to date, the investigation is yet to be completed. Ramdahin said that in 2019, his home was broken into, and carted off were 3 gold chains worth more than $176,000, a gold band valued at $93,800, and 2 gold rings with a total price tag of $16,100. The items were later found by Ramdahin and handed over to the Anna Regina police station as evidence. The suspect was charged, placed before the court, and later jailed for 6 months. Ramdahin said that when the court case was over, he decided to uplift the lodged gold jewelry from the police, but when he got there, he said he got back the bands and the rings and the pendant for the chains, but the chains were switched. Police decided to launch an investigation into the misplaced gold chains, but almost 2 years have passed and the police are yet to solve the mystery. It is understood that the jewelry had passed through the hands of 2 police officers after it was lodged as evidence, but it is unclear if investigators had investigated them as suspects. And now let's tell you, upon considering the merits of an appeal by a transparency and civil society activist, the Environmental Assessment Board has ordered to conduct an environmental impact assessment of the cumulative impacts that would accrue from its 2024 well campaign for the Kaieteur and Kanji blocks. According to the board report, one formal appeal dated April 9th was received from environmentalist Simone Mangle-Joly regarding the EPA's decision to waive the environmental impact assessment for the 2 projects. This appeal is in response to the EPA's public notice dated March 13th, notifying that its decision to not require an environmental impact assessment for the project. And moving on, Suraj Ganpad, the Berbice man who reportedly confessed to stabbing his ex-wife to death on Monday, has surrendered to police. Commander of Region 6 Police District Budnarayan Prasad confirmed that the wanted man turned himself in after 19 hours on Thursday in the company of his father at the Central Police Station located in New Amsterdam. Ganpad is accused of killing his 25-year-old ex-wife Cindy Ramchandar around 8 hours on Monday. And to wrap things up this evening, let's tell you that Auditor General Deodat Sharma has signaled its citizens' concern has highlighted that citizens' concern over the unsettling allegations of Chinese businessman Xi Rongsu, who has accused members of the government, particularly Vice President Bawar Jagdeo, of illegal activities as a state official, must write a letter to the independent office requesting an investigation into the matter. The Auditor General said that he does have the power to probe public officials involved in illegal matters where state assets are concerned. But they must make a written request to have the office look into the matter. And that brings us to the end of this evening's newscast. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your